Nathan Smith, known to the world as DJ Young Slade, the son of hip-hop icon Lil Jon, was discovered lifeless in a quiet pond near his home in Milton, Georgia. Authorities rushed to calm the public, claiming there was no sign of foul play. But the streets aren't convinced. And today, we're diving into the haunting timeline of his last hours, the eerie details surrounding his disappearance, and why this story feels far from finished. Nathan Smith, also known as DJ Young Slade, son of rap legend Lil Jon, is gone. And this isn't just another tragic headline. This is the story of a 27-year-old with a future stacked with promise, who walked out of his house one Tuesday morning and never walked back in. Let's break this down. No filters. First, we need to understand who Nathan Smith really was, because the media loves reducing people to a name and a headline. But this young king was far more than just Lil Jon's son. Feel that? Nathan Smith, aka DJ Young Slade, was 27, living in Milton, Georgia, around 30 miles north of Atlanta, the city where Lil Jon built his empire. For anyone who somehow doesn't know, Lil Jon is a Grammy-winning giant. We're talking about the man behind Yeah, with Usher and Ludacris, Turned Down for What, and countless tracks that shaped an entire era of crunk and hip-hop culture. That's the legacy Nathan was born into. But Nathan wasn't just coasting on his father's fame, not even close. He was a producer, an artist, an engineer, and an NYU graduate, New York University, one of the hardest schools to get into and even harder to finish. That alone speaks volumes about his discipline and mind. He balanced academics with music, grinding in studios while building his technical skills and creative vision. He wasn't playing. He was constructing his own legacy, brick by brick. Lil Jon once said Nathan was insanely gifted and their bond ran deep. You could see it online, at events, even on Family Feud in 2024. They laughed, joked, competed side by side. Not a distant celebrity father and son, but two people who genuinely rocked with each other. The kind of relationship many people wish they had with their dad. And according to everyone around him, Nathan was different. Lil Jon called him the kindest soul you could ever meet. Deeply caring, thoughtful, respectful, passionate, warm. And that wasn't just grief talking. Friends, family, industry insiders all said the same thing. Nathan had a light. That rare energy that pulls people in a business full of ego, clout chasing, and fake loyalty. He was said to be authentic, humble, talented without the arrogance. His work as a producer was starting to turn heads. He was engineering tracks, collaborating, stacking credits, building momentum. This wasn't a rich kid hobby. This was a serious career path. He had the education, the connections, and most importantly, the skill and hunger to stand on his own name, not just his father's shadow. So when the news hit that this young man vanished under bizarre circumstances, the hip-hop world snapped to attention because nothing about this story felt logical from the start. Now this is where it gets intense, and you need to lock in on every detail because the timeline is everything when you're trying to understand why people started asking uncomfortable questions. Tuesday morning. Early Tuesday morning, Nathan Smith bolts out of his house, not strolling, not hopping in a car, he runs on foot. And here's the detail that confused everyone immediately. He left without his phone. Pause on that. It's 2025. Who walks out without their phone? Especially a 27-year-old producer whose entire life beats contacts, sessions, schedules, lives in that device. Nobody just forgets their phone. Especially when you sprint out like something just terrified you. Your phone is survival. It's help, maps, messages. Leaving it behind screams panic, confusion, or a mind that isn't thinking straight. The Milton Police Department got the call Tuesday morning about Nathan's disappearance. His family reported him missing, and they made it clear this wasn't normal. The missing person bulletin said he may be disoriented and in need of assistance. That word disoriented matters. It hints he wasn't himself. Maybe a mental health break, anxiety, psychosis, crushing depression. Maybe substances twisted reality. Maybe exhaustion wrecked judgment. Whatever it was, everyone close to him knew something was seriously wrong. Friends and family weren't just worried. They feared for his safety. That means red flags were there before he vanished. Strange behavior, alarming words, subtle changes nobody could ignore. This wasn't Nathan Smith being himself. This was Nathan Smith in crisis. Milton is a quiet, wealthy suburb, tree-lined streets, massive homes, picture-perfect families. People don't just disappear there. When someone vanishes under conditions like this, it's a kind of quiet retention pond you see in upscale suburbs across America built for drainage. Wrapped in greenery, meant to blend into the background. The kind of place you'd walk past every day and never think twice about. Easy to miss unless you're searching for something or someone. The Milton Police Department released a statement saying the body is believed to be Nathan Smith. Officials said they were waiting on the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office for formal confirmation through fingerprints, dental records, or other identification. But based on the location, the timeline, the clothing, and the details, they were confident it was him. Then came the line that lit the internet on fire. According to investigators, there was no sign of foul play. Let that sink in. No foul play. Meaning they believe nobody else touched him. No struggle. No violence. Just a tragic event, possibly accidental or self-inflicted. Case closed at least on paper. But that's when the streets started questioning everything. Because when you look closer, the story starts to crack. Let's talk about the mental state angle. Police said Nathan may have been disoriented when he left. That suggests a mental health episode, substance influence, or some sudden break from reality. But people who knew him said he was doing well. He was active in music, close with his family, just appeared on Family Feud with his father. So where did this spiral come from? Hip-hop has lost too many artists to Silent Battle's Mac Miller. Juice WRLD, of each people who looked successful but were drowning inside. Mental illness doesn't care about fame or money. Sometimes the brightest smiles hide the deepest pain. Still, Nathan's sudden panic running out without a phone feels like something snapped instantly. Panic attack? Paranoia? A bad reaction. Toxicology might tell that story. And then there's the pond, found near his home in a quiet Georgia neighborhood. The question everyone keeps asking, how did he end up there? Did he fall in, walk in, get lost in the dark? Or is there more that nobody's saying? Police say no one else was involved. But no foul play doesn't mean no mystery. It just means the truth might be buried deeper than anyone expected. This is a huge deal. Drowning cases are never simple. Medical examiners don't just assume what happened. They dig deep. They look for water in the lungs, check for injuries that happened before the person entered the water, test blood for drugs and alcohol, and analyze the scene to understand how someone even got there. None of that is instant. And until those reports drop, everyone is working with fragments of the truth. Now let's talk about the timeline. Tuesday morning to Friday morning. 3 full days. 3 days where Nathan Smith was missing before he was discovered in a pond not far from home. Where was he during that window? Was he alive and wandering, confused and alone? Did he enter the water the first day and simply go unnoticed? Or did something happen in between that nobody has pieced together yet? These are the questions investigators are racing to answer. The autopsy will reveal critical details: time of death, body condition, possible injuries, toxicology results. If Nathan was in the pond for 3 days, the body would show certain signs. If not, that opens an entirely different mystery. Water temperature, depth, debris, even whether anything weighed him down. Every detail matters. Until official results drop, speculation will explode. And trust me, social media has been wild with theories. Then there's the industry angle. You already know people went there. Anytime someone linked to a major hip-hop figure dies, conspiracy theories start flooding timelines. People claiming the industry silenced him, that he knew too much, that it was some ritual sacrifice nonsense. Let's be real, most of that is pure fiction. Tragedies often come from mental health struggles, accidents, or personal battles. Lil Jon is a veteran in the game, not some shadowy puppet master. He built his legacy on music and culture, not darkness. The statement he released with Nicole was heartbreaking, full of love, pride, and grief. That sounded like devastated parents, not villains in a conspiracy thriller. Still, it's fair to ask hard questions. Hip-hop has a dark side: pressure, exploitation, mental strain. Being a legacy kid, carrying a famous last name. Trying to prove yourself, that weight can crush someone quietly. And finally, the phrase that shook everyone: unusual circumstances. Police don't say that lightly. That wording alone tells you this story isn't simple, and people aren't done questioning it. Unusual circumstances is strategic wording. It signals something wasn't right without revealing what authorities actually know. So, what could that mean? Let's explore the possibilities. Maybe Nathan Smith was experiencing a serious psychological episode his family witnessed firsthand. Maybe he was speaking irrationally, acting paranoid, behaving in ways that shocked everyone around him. Maybe something triggered him: an argument, devastating news, or a moment that shattered his stability. Maybe he received a message or call that terrified him. Though if that were true, investigators would likely treat it as potential foul play. Maybe he felt threatened by something that wasn't real. Mental health crises can blur reality, convincing someone they're in danger when they're not. Maybe there was tension at home that pushed him to flee. But that seems unlikely given how close he was with his family. Or maybe he truly was running from something real. Police say they found no evidence of foul play, but the truth is, we still don't have the full picture. And unless authorities release more details or the family chooses to speak, we may never fully understand what happened that morning, and they have every right to keep painful details private. Not everything belongs to the public. When the news broke, the hip-hop world rallied. Artists, producers, DJs, fans, everyone sent love to Lil Jon and the Smith family. Social media filled with tributes, prayers, memories, and stories about Nathan's kindness. But what hit hardest was how many people started talking about mental health. Rappers opened up about depression, anxiety, therapy, medication, topics usually hidden behind bravado. That mattered. We need to normalize vulnerability, especially for young Black men raised to suppress emotion and man up. That silence is deadly. Maybe if these conversations were louder, tragedies like this could be prevented. If you're struggling, reach out. Call 988. Talk to someone you trust. Find professional help. Your life matters. Your story isn't over. To Nathan Smith's family and loved ones, I'm praying for you. Rest in peace, Nathan. And let's honor him by being kinder, checking on each other, and breaking the silence around mental health.